My new neighbor smiled and waved every morning while taking out trash. One day, she handed me the trash bag and ran. I was watering my garden when the moving truck pulled up next door. A woman in her late 20s climbed out and waved at me. Hi, we're your new neighbors. Her husband appeared behind her and put his hand on her shoulder. She went quiet immediately. We like to keep to ourselves, he said with a smile. The next morning at 7:15, she came outside with a white trash bag and waved. She glanced at the window behind her, then hurried back inside. Her husband left for work 15 minutes later in a suit and tie. This became a routine. Every morning at exactly 7:15, she'd take the trash out and wave. Someone knocked on my door a couple weeks later. I opened it to find her standing there in long sleeves despite the heat. Hi, I'm so sorry to bother you, but do you have any sugar I could borrow? Of course, come in. I stepped aside. She didn't move. I can't. I just need to grab it quick. Her voice shook. I went to get the sugar, and when I came back, she was looking over her shoulder at her house. Do you want to come in for coffee sometime? She opened her mouth and closed it. I don't think that's a good idea. She took the sugar and practically ran back. A few mornings later, she came out at 7:15 like always. When she waved, her lips moved. Help me. I froze. Her husband appeared in the doorway. Honey, hurry back inside. Breakfast is getting cold. She dropped her hand and walked back in. Later that week, I heard a crash through the wall at midnight. Then his voice, muffled but angry. You think you can just do whatever you want? Furniture scraped across the floor. She was crying. I grabbed my phone and almost called 911, but then it went quiet. The next morning, she came outside with makeup caked on her face. It didn't hide the black eye. He stood in the doorway with his arms crossed, watching her. She didn't wave. You talk to the neighbors too much. We don't need friends here. His voice cut through the air. She nodded quickly. Sorry, I was just being polite. Don't be polite. Be smart. He turned and went back inside. She stood there for a moment, then followed him. That night, I heard her sobbing through the wall for hours. The next morning, I was getting ready for work when she came outside at 7:15. She walked straight toward me instead of the curb. Her hands were shaking so hard the trash bag rattled. She got close and shoved the bag into my hands. He's in the shower. I have 5 minutes. Then she turned and ran down the street. I ran inside and opened the trash bag. Inside were photos of bruises covering her arms and back, a USB drive, and a folded note. His name is Jim Byers. He works at the law firm downtown. He told everyone I'm mentally unstable so they won't believe me. He monitors my phone and my car has a tracker. He said if I ever leave, he'll find me and make sure I disappear. I've been planning this for 6 weeks. Please keep this safe. If anything happens to me, give it to the police. I'm going to my sister's house in another state. A car door slammed. Jim was getting into his car, scanning the street. 10 minutes later, someone pounded on my door so hard the frame shook. I opened it with the chain on. Can I help you? Have you seen my wife? She was supposed to be home. His voice was controlled, but his hands were shaking. No, sorry. I haven't seen her this morning. His eyes narrowed. She was just outside. You're always out here. Where did she go? I don't know. He stepped closer. You're lying. I can tell when people lie. I'm not lying. He stared at me for a long moment. If you're helping her, you need to understand something. My wife is sick. She gets confused and makes up stories. If you're hiding her, you're putting her in danger. I'm not hiding anyone. His face went dark. If I find out you know something, if I find out you helped her leave, you'll regret it. He walked back to his car and sped off. I called 911 immediately. Jim was arrested 3 days later when he showed up at her sister's place threatening to break down the door. I never heard from either of them again.